believe everything revolves around choices. How many of y'all believe we're either gonna make healthy choices or unhealthy choices?
Right.
And really, there's no gray area in it.
One or the other.
One or the other. So what we wanna do is, what we've been doing for a long period of time is, we've been working together, hanging together, and overcoming together. And a lot of us been doing this deal for a pretty good while. And to me, it's all about building the body of believers. And it's all about learning how to trust in God. And it's also learning how to capitalize on our mistakes. I want to zero in on this, because I think this is one of the keys to the whole deal, to the whole presentation. Right action is the key to good living. How many of y'all believe that if we don't take the right action, we're not going to get the desired result? Right. So I like to say this, if we don't take the right actions, it's like setting up at the Memphis International Airport, waiting for a ship to come in, and it ain't gonna happen. So if we want a happy, joyous, and free life, we gotta take the right actions. So we use what we call the method of the coaches. In simplicity, we try to get people to review their words and their actions on a daily basis, and try to learn from their mistakes, take advantage of the mistakes, quit letting our mistakes take advantage of us, and us start taking advantage of them. And lessons learned today can be carried over into tomorrow. So if we start taking the right action and review our film, just like coaches do, after a practice session or after a game day, at the end of the day, I'm in the habit of reviewing my day on a daily basis so I can learn from my mistakes, take advantage of them, and not let them take advantage of me. So, Sid and I have been doing this deal together for a long time, for over 16 years now. So, and our hope is that passing on this simple method, it will continue to help others, like it's helped us, break old destructive habits and replace them with new constructive habits. So, when we retire at night, I try to constructively review my day, and I try to learn from my mistakes, and I try to examine myself to see if my faith is genuine. I try to test myself on a daily basis. So what we do is we try to let every man, woman, and child, regardless of race, creed, or color, know that they have a circle of influence, and your circle of influence is either going to be used in a positive way or a negative way. And in our circle of influence, we're going to put these family up there, friends, and society. And as a rule, there is a wall between family members. As a rule, there's barriers between family members. As a rule, there's walls and barriers between friends. And it don't take a brain surgeon to figure it out. It's really there in the society that we live in today, right? So we want to have a positive, we want to be a positive influence in the world that we live in, instead of being a negative influence. How many of y'all was a negative influence for a long period of time? And we can still be a negative influence on a daily basis, so that's why we want to learn from our mistakes. And the truth of the matter is, we want to be healthy or we want to get well, instead of staying sick. I want to talk about some stuff that puts us over here in this negative part. Expectations. How many of y'all got family members that did something that you never expected or dreamed they would do? How many of y'all believe that they got the same perspective about us? How many times when your expectations didn't get met on your timetable, did you get angry and stay angry? And let anger control you? How many of us have a hard time not letting anger control us? I'm talking about human anger. But we're going to talk about who wants us to be controlled, who wants to control us through human anger. I'll say this right off the front end because I say it's not God. So if it's not God, it must be the other source of power. So, a lot of times, we don't even know that we in fellowship with the nature of darkness. This side over here represents the nature of darkness, and the right side represents the nature of light. So we want to be on the right side, we don't want to be on the left side. And there's a lot of people that's on the left side, and they don't know how to get on the right side. Okay, but we have been shown how to get out from under it. And so we want to show other people, not just with our words, but with our actions. But what happens is, when things don't happen, when our expectations don't get met on our timetable, if we're not careful, we'll jump over here in an unhealthy fellowship and go to, the deer camps or the fishing holes and anybody could increase that list. Y'all agree with that? And then what happens then?
Gotcha.
That was funny when we all needed a good laugh. What happens is we get in unhealthy relationships. A lot of times because we don't get our way, which leads to broken and twisted relations. This side over here God expects us to wait on His timing, does He not? And His timing is always perfect, just like this meeting got started at God's special timing. Just like we're here today because of God's special timing. God wants us to be in healthy fellowship, which is what we're doing now. He wants us to have healthy relationships, and He wants to mend and restore those twisted and broken relations. I mean, y'all believe that God wants to restore mended and broken relations? I mean, y'all believe the nature of darkness don't want to mend it? What happens is, our old ancient enemy, rationalization, steps in and justifies our conduct because as a rule, our wrath is always justified. So what we want to do in simplicity is we want to increase that side and we want to decrease that side. I mean, y'all believe that's possible. Okay? So the realities of life is whatever we feed our mind or focus on, what they did or what they didn't do. Expectation. What we should have done that we didn't do. So we ask God to grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change. You cannot undo the things you've done, whether it be good or bad. You can't go back and get any time that you've squandered living a lifestyle that you never should have been living in. And the water that flowed under the bridge is flowed under the bridge, and you can't unscramble it. So whatever we feed our mind or focus on, we become. What we become, we transmit. What we transmit, we receive. So we all transmit. We're going to either transmit good stuff or bad stuff. And how many of us, like a football game, have reviewed a instant replay? And we live in that instant replay. I just picked that up Sunday. That was my new deal right there. I had to use that. I heard it on the way to church Sunday about a guy, he was talking about the method of the coaching, man, and that was beautiful the way he did it. But how many of us live in an instant replay and can't get past the instant replay? But we'll see something that'll bring that instant replay right back in our mind, man. I can't speak for y'all, but they jump in my head all the time. Especially when I go up north to cross that Tennessee state line. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Anyway, we all got perspective. It's either going to be a worldly perspective or a spiritual perspective. What I want to say is I view mankind today as earthly vessels and spiritual beings. In other words, I look at y'all as my brothers and sisters. And so, every day, we stand at the crossroads to seek to do the right thing or seek to do the wrong thing. Well, we're going to be seeking to do something. And it's either going to be healthy or it's going to be unhealthy. And if our hearts are at the crossroad every day, and our hearts and our minds are attuned to the welfare of our fellow travelers, then that's going to make us all like-minded. So, I love people. I'm supposed to love what God loves and hate what He hates. The God that I serve said He hates wickedness and He loves righteousness, but I'm supposed to hate what He hates I believe it's healthy to stop evaluating people from a human point of view, and I think we need to start evaluating each other from a spiritual point of view, so we can get rid of those barriers and those walls. So we're gonna look at how the evil nature, the nature of darkness operates, and how the nature of light operates. When you get reborn, you enter the world of the spirit, and your next function in the realm of the spirit is to grow in understanding and effectiveness. What that means in simplicity is learning how this nature operates versus how this nature operates. So what we want to do is we want to evaluate ourselves as being like a tree. This side over here represents a thorn bush, and this side over here is a healthy tree. So we got the tree of deceit, which is lies, self-delusions, self-seeking, and self-pity, and all this stuff. The love of money, the pride of life. Look what I've done. Look what I've accomplished. And we got some branches over here on this side. This side over here is the tree of life, and journey into the truth, with humility being the foundation principle of that fruit-bearing tree on that side. So what we want to do is we want those branches over here to get strong so they can, that's why they're going up, and we want to flatten these out over here. So what we want to do is we want to look at our inside as being like a spiritual ledger. Y'all seen the commercial, what's in your wallet? Well, we want to know what's in this spiritual house. So we can uncover, discover, discard the garbage, and uncover, discover the good. So what we want to do is decrease this side and increase this side, and the way we do that, we have a spirit of cooperation with this side and a spirit of rebellion against this side, instead of having a spirit of rebellion against this side and a spirit of cooperation with this side. Does that make sense? So, what we're going to do is we're going to learn a little bit about how the nature of darkness operates. I mean, y'all believe that nature wants us to be afraid. Wants us to be afraid of our reputation. Wants us to be afraid of failure. Wants us to be afraid of the unknown. Afraid about what might or might not take place tomorrow, next week, next month. This side over here wants us to have faith in God alone. And so, we have the human anger. There's a little prayer that we say, God save me from being angry, thy will be done. That's a powerful prayer. Just a little simple prayer. God save me from being angry, thy will be done. How many of y'all believe that's a powerful prayer? So we develop grudges instead of having compassion. We develop resentment instead of forgiving and showing mercy. And what happens is, y'all look at this right here. What we feed our mind or focus on, we become. If we let the sun go down on our anger, as a rule, we're going to develop a grudge against a human being. And when that grudge, the more we feed and fan and nurture the grudge, the more resentful we get, because we're looking at it in the natural instead of looking at it in the spiritual. And what we're doing is we're letting this nature outsmart us because we're looking at it from the worldly angle instead of the spiritual angle. Now, how many of y'all have got some anger that you've never dealt with, or got some grudges that you've never dealt with, or got some resentment that's been controlling you? How many of us are aware that if you feed and fan and nurture those grudges, this nature right here has got you shackled to whoever you got a resentment against, whether it be a friend or a family member or even yourself? It's the same source of power. So we want to get rid of this side over here. That's at the inside of the tree over here counters the inside of this tree. Y'all just keep that in mind. We got loneliness instead of having a sense of belonging. We get anxiety instead of having peace. And we get depressed instead of being content with what we got. And now we got this side over here where there's hatred, we want to bring love. Where there's wrong, we want to bring the spirit of forgiveness. Where there's discord, we want to bring harmony. Where there's error, we want to bring truth. Where there's doubt, we want to bring faith. Where there's despair, we want to bring hope. Where there's shadow, we want to bring light. And where there is sadness, we want to bring joy. I can't speak for y'all, but I did my share of going through let these spiritual forces over here control me for a long period of time. I fed them, I fanned them, and I nurtured them because all my motivation for a number of years, it wasn't all of my motivation, but it had me in a pretty good paralyzing grip. Was a worldly motivation because money had become my God instead of my servant. So I had a worldly motivation. I had some spiritual motivation going on, but it wasn't near as dominant as this side over here. Just like I had some worldly priorities, I had some spiritual priorities, but it wasn't the guiding forces, I can tell you that. And so the worldly ambitions versus the spiritual ambitions, the worldly objectives versus the spiritual objectives, the worldly goals, the worldly values versus the spiritual goals and the spiritual values, because I had short-sighted or unworthy desires instead of the deep desire to live usefully and walk humbly under the grace of God. And this entire presentation is going to go back to this slide right here. And it's going to give us so much insight about how we've been getting outsmarted. And every time I do one of these deals, I learn something. Every time Sid does one of these deals, we learn something. But we know who our teacher is and know who our trainer is. So the truth of the matter is, so many of us get caught up in worldly labels. A lot of people get caught up in, well, I'm a drug addict. Well, I'm an alcoholic. Well, I'm not an alcoholic and I'm not a drug addict. Well, I'm an alcoholic and a drug addict. Y'all know what I'm talking about? We get so caught up in all these worldly labels. I'm not a Baptist, I'm a Methodist. I'm not a Methodist, I'm a Presbyterian. I'm not a Presbyterian, I'm a Pentecostal. And the list goes on, you know, and then somebody says, well, I'm none of the above. Okay, whatever the case may be, okay? And then we get caught up in the sports arena. I'm a Mrs. Tiger. No, I'm an Ole Miss Rebel. I'm not an Ole Miss Rebel. I'm a Mississippi State Bulldog. And we usually get some heckler over here from the Far East that says, roll, tide, roll. And all that stuff causes division, okay? And the truth of the matter is, in simplicity, I said all that to say one thing. You're either a player or an agent or a representative under this authority, under this coach over here, or you are a player or an agent or representative of this side over here. So you gotta make up your mind who you want the coach to be from this point on. And what we wanna do in reality is we wanna increase this side and we wanna decrease that side. Sound like you're playing? So here's the game changer in action. If y'all will, repeat this prayer after me. Like a marriage ceremony. Y'all see it on your handout? Alright. Repeat it after me like a marriage ceremony. Y'all know what a marriage ceremony does. It repeats the vows, okay? Y'all ready? Search me, O God, and know my heart.
Search me, O God, and know my heart.
Test me and know my anxious thoughts.
Test me and know my anxious thoughts.
Point out anything in me that offends you.
Point out anything in me that offends you.
And lead me along the path of everlasting life.
Lead me along the path of everlasting life.
That's where the self-searching and the self-examination comes in. If you got a resentment towards somebody that God has already forgiven, you might ought to come off that throne. Because it offends God. That's what I believe. If you got a grudge against somebody, you might want to come off that throne. But I believe it offends God and it gives power to the nation of darkness. I mean, y'all getting some pictures right now. We got some work to do, don't we?
Yes, sir.
So here's the deal. I'm gonna pop this on up here for time's sake. How many of y'all have brought these isms into your circle of influence? Where there is hatred, where there is wrong, where there is discord, where there is error, where there is doubt, where there is despair. How many of y'all brought those isms into your families? How many of y'all brought them into your friends? How many of y'all bring them into society as a whole? How many of us have helped people to walk in the shadow of the valley of death? Fearing that one of us was going to die. Where there is. So what I want to do is I want to ask you what you've been seeking, what you've been seeking, and what you've been seeking. What I want to do is I want y'all to repeat this prayer after me. Y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
Lord, make me a channel of thy peace.
Lord, make me a channel of thy peace.
Where there is hatred,
where there is danger.
I may bring love.
I may bring love.
And where there is wrong,
Where there is wrong,
I may bring the spirit of forgiveness.
I may bring the spirit of forgiveness.
Where there is discord,
Where there is discord,
I may bring harmony.
I may bring harmony.
And where there is error,
Where there is error,
I may bring truth.
I may bring
Where
truth.
there is doubt,
Where there is doubt,
I may bring faith.
I may bring faith.
Where there is despair,
Where there is despair,
I may bring hope.
I may bring hope.
Where there is shadow,
Where there is shadow,
I may bring light.
I may bring light.
And where there is sadness,
Where there is sadness,
I may bring joy.
I may bring joy.
Lord, grant that I may seek to comfort,
Lord, grant that I may seek to comfort
than to be comforted.
and to be comforted.
Lord, grant that I may seek to understand,
Lord, grant that I may seek to understand
than to be understood.
and to be understood.
Lord, grant that I may seek to love,
Lord, grant that I may seek to love
than to be loved.
and to be loved.
Amen.
Amen.
Here's an example that many of us is using to help us overcome the strategy of the devil. How many of y'all believe the devil's got some strategies?
Oh, yeah.
I read in a book that a man said, if there was a devil, he'd seen false universe, and he certainly had me. Okay, here's an example that many of us are using that's helping us overcome the strategy of the devil. What we do, we start listing people, institutions, or principles with whom we were angry, and we ask ourselves why we were angry and how it affected us and others. That's how powerful anger is. So we list people that we're angry at, or somebody that we got a grudge against. And the next thing we do is we list institutions. Some people are angry at the church. Some people have hatred toward a certain school because they wear a certain colored uniform or they play on a certain ball field. And some people have resentment because people don't agree with their perspective, and the list goes on and on. Some people have resentments against the prison system, the IRS, and the list goes on and on. And some people have a lot of principles, the worldly principles that they, or the spiritual principles that they just don't like. The truth of the matter is, one of the biggest principles that people don't like is we were born to die. And then that's a lot of people just don't like that. So then we ask ourselves why we were angry or how it affected us. And the truth of the matter is, in most cases, it's going, if not all, it's going to go back to our self-justification, our old ancient enemy, rationalization, self-justification. And we suffered severely from self-justification because as we saw it in the natural, as we saw it in the natural, our wrath was always justified, true or false. As we saw it in the natural, our wrath was always justified because we shouted from the hilltop, it just ain't right, it just ain't right, it just ain't right. And then we said that, and then we heard it, and then we got obsessed with, it just ain't right. The truth of the matter is, if it's wrong, you're right by saying it just ain't right, but who wants you to focus on everybody else's wrong? I tell you this, it ain't God. So how did it affect us? So it affected us, we hurt people, and it hurt people in our circle of influence. So how many unresolved cases do we still have that need to be resolved? And I'm gonna give y'all a reminder. Have y'all ever been in court? You about the size of me being in court. You know what happens when the case gets presented? Cross-examination stops. Or truth or facts start being laid out in our case. Okay? And so what we're trying to do is solve the case. So we can say next case. So how many unresolved cases do we still have that need to be solved? I'm gonna say this. If you don't know how to solve them that's lingering on back here, you're not gonna know how to solve the ones that come every day. But unresolved cases are coming our way every day, and if we don't learn how to handle, to solve them, how many cases have you had today? Different events throughout the course of the day. And some of them you got mad about because of. The first speak in court sounds right until the cross-examination begins, and the reason the cross-examination begins is so we can expose the nature of the problem that's operating behind the scenes. Does that make sense? We can't do it on our own, but we can do it with His power and His love and His way of life.